Hi, I'm ISHLT CEO Greg Schultz, and this is ISHLT Employee Spotlight. Today, it is my pleasure to talk with my colleague, ISHLT Director of Marketing and Communications, Jess Burke. So let's get right to it.
All right, let's do it.
In a nutshell, what do you do for ISHLT?
Well, first of all, it's really great to be on the other side of the questions. So as the Director of Marketing and Communications, I consider myself to be the steward of ISHLT's story. I'm responsible for making sure that we have a consistent voice and message in our communications and that we're sharing interesting and important facts about the profession with the outside world. And maybe most importantly, that members get the information that they need to take advantage of everything that the society is doing. And there's a lot going on. So a big part of my job is trying to juggle all of the different programs and services and events and make sure that members are seeing what might be most important to them at any given time.
And so you joined the ISHLT team in 2020.
Yes.
What was the biggest surprise since coming on board?
Well, I really think for me, the biggest surprise was just honestly how much the members have been able to achieve in the middle of this pandemic. You know, there's so much going on in their careers and in their personal lives, and yet they've been able to drive the society forward with a lot of passion and intensity. And I found that to be I was surprised coming in, but now that I've gotten to know the members a little bit, there's nothing surprising about that, right? That's who they are.
So how would you describe the members in just a few words?
Well, so like you said, I joined last year in the middle of the COVID pandemic. So I've never met an ISHLT member in person. I'd like to solve that in the next few months, hopefully. So my impression of the membership might need to be taken with a grain of salt, but even from a distance, I've found them to be so innovative. They solve hard problems every day, and I see so much creativity going into their work. They're compassionate. The patient community is, the sickest of the sick and complex cases, and I just see decisions being made from a place of incredible concern and care. And like I said, driven, I think would be the other word. There's so much on their plates right now, but the amount of energy and passion that's going into the society and their research and scholarship right now is really incredible to me.
I couldn't agree more. I am in awe every day of our members.
Yep.
So working with this incredible group of people, what is the thing that makes your particular role most rewarding for you?
So, I think I've gotten to ask this question of a couple staff already, and we all kind of seem to feel like the members are what make it rewarding. And I think the reason for that is the mission. I've worked for several associations going back for about a dozen years and served some really interesting and varied communities, architectural lighting designers, endodontists, janitorial staff, car wash owners. And I think what does it for me about ISHLT is the combination of who the members are and what the mission is. They're doing amazing work. They're saving lives and improving health and well-being for people globally. Clean cars and good lighting are super important, but I'm really honored to be even just a tiny part of the mission of, helping a heart failure patient live a full life, or, a lung transplant for a pediatric patient. Just the fact that I get to be associated with that in any way it just couldn't be more rewarding.
So what's something people don't know about you? And I'm gonna put a twist on this question. There's a whole bunch of interesting things behind you. Talk about something that's meaningful.
Cool. Well, and like I said, I haven't met any members yet, so they don't know anything about me. So I could literally tell you anything, and most people don't know it. I think this room behind me just tells you that I'm a big nerd. I have a pretty big record collection. There's a couple records right here. These are just the sleeves. And I love weird old movies. These are some posters from some of my favorite pulp movies, including Q the Winged Serpent and Prince of Darkness and Truck Turner. So you can usually find me and my husband watching and listening to weird stuff. And I'm a big video game person. All of this is not DVDs. These are old video games. And these are in these little boxes back here. You'll find some old video game systems. I've got a Super Nintendo and a Genesis and a Dreamcast. And I would love to talk to anybody who wants to talk to me about classic video games at any time. I'm definitely a collector of nerdy stuff, but video games are probably the thing I've poured the most money and time into over the last 20 years or so. So I have quite a little collection.
I see a booth at the 2022 convention in Boston in your future, featuring old video games.
Yeah, come by and play Dreamcast with me is basically the booth that I will be hosting. Yeah, Choo Choo Rocket and masks. It's kind of
so. My last question: where do you think we'll be 1 year from now? When you look back in September of 2022, what will some of the things be that we're working on now, that you're working on now?
Yeah. Well, I definitely am. I love to think optimistically. I mean, I think that I've been a pandemic realist more than anything else, but I really do hope that by that time I'll have been able to connect with members in person, and hopefully that's going to improve the way that I'm writing communications and just getting a little bit more of a firsthand understanding of what members are looking for. But I think that by September 2022, you're going to see improvements to ISHLT Connect, which is the user forum that you can access online. We're working on a bunch of things for that right now to make it more user-friendly, make the online experience better. So I'm hoping there's going to be a lot of activity there, and people will be just even more sharing information and connecting with one another. And I'm also hoping that we're seeing improvements in general, just to, like I said, our email communications, better newsletters, more targeted emails. That it's just, hopefully members will be seeing that they're getting really customized communications, even more than they are now, that what they're getting in their inbox feels really relevant and important to them. And that's my mission. And I think by September 2022, we're going to be a lot closer to that than we are now.
Great stuff. Thank you. Well, I will say that it is my pleasure to be your colleague, and ISHLT, we are fortunate that you're on the team. So thanks for chatting with me this morning about your records and video games and the future of ISHLT.
Well, thanks so much for saying it. I couldn't be happier to be on the team.